Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to part 5, the final part of this month's episode of Gunpla News. This is episode 13 for December 2015. This part we're going to be talking about some featured kits. We've got some really cool ones here that I'm really excited to share with you guys. Some of you have probably seen some of these before around on the internet as they've been going around recently. But hopefully not. Well, hopefully just the point is that you'll see these kits and get some inspiration. All of the kits that I'm going to be featuring, I'll have links to some more photos or whatever. I'll have links for the kits down below in the information of this video, so you can check that out if you want to see more about them. So let's get in with this. The first one is an HG Over Graze custom build by HobbynoToriko. HobbynoToriko, I'm sure I've featured on here maybe once before, maybe more than once. Very well known Gunpla artist, I think. This is just a really cool concept here. He's just basically melded an overflag and a graze together. And how he's brought them together is just seamless. It looks amazing. Looks really great. Just the all black color scheme is really fitting for this. It's the color scheme from the Over Graze essentially, but it looks great with the not Over Graze, with the over flag. It looks great with the grays added in there as well. I think all the way he used all the parts, everything just looks very uniform. It doesn't look like a kit bash. It looks like that's how it was designed, like that, like originally. So really, really great work there. Really great minimal use of decals and even details on that in terms of painted details. It's just very dark black everywhere. So. But the minimal use of other colors like the whites and the details, the decals on there are all really, really nice on that. So it looks really cool, and it can transform as well. When it can transform into the flight mode, I'm not sure what exactly you'd call that, flight, wave rider mode, whatever you call it for the overflag. So really, really cool design there. The next one is a HG Strike Zeta Gundam. Custom build by Ken16W. First of all, the first thing you'll notice about this kit is just how clean and awesomely crisp everything is on this kit. The colors are fantastic. I love these color schemes, just the white with just some pastel colors, like pastel greens, yellows, in this case purple, and then just the bright yellow detail accent colors there for the vents and stuff. Really amazing looking. As well as this shield, which appears to be just totally scratch built, I would assume, or it's maybe slightly modified from the Delta Gundam shield, possibly. Although I'm not sure. This looks similar to that, but it's definitely different enough that it's modified quite a bit. Anyway, just really, really cool, clean design here. It's using obviously some parts from a few different kits, and it's just obviously some parts are scratch built as well. Just really, really beautiful kits that this is the kind of thing that it seems like you would see being sold at a Yahoo Japan auction for a lot of money, because it's just a really, really cool, really nicely done version of a Zeta Gundam here. So it's really, really nice. Next thing is a Master Grade. We have a Master Grade AGE-2 Pheasant custom build by Tabo. This one as well, this is not something I think I would normally really be all that interested, but once I took a closer look at this, I just really like how the parts are arranged, the clear parts shooting up at the top. I can see why he called it a pheasant, I guess. I'm guessing it's a reference to the bird having the feathers sticking up out the back. And it looks really cool, but in this case, instead of feathers sticking out of the back, it's these killer swords of these clear parts. It'll all look really, really cool. So really, really nice customization here with those parts. I really dig that. Otherwise, I mean, just the kit in general is just the color scheme, I think, is not really all that exciting. The exciting part about it is more just the overall layout of the parts, I think, how he's customized it. It maybe would have been a little bit more exciting if maybe the blue was not that straight blue color, maybe a lighter blue or something, or I don't know, some other adjustment to the colors maybe, but either way, just a very, very nicely done kit, just in general. So that was really cool. Next one is an SD, if you can believe it. I think maybe it's not the first time I've featured an SD, but it's one of its. I haven't featured too many SD kits, but this one is actually just a custom build by Sary, an SD Zamel here, really cool. At first, I've seen an SD Zamel resin kit, so at first I thought this was that, but after taking a closer look, it is actually different. So this one I think is scratch built, and I think maybe he used the resin kit as like a reference, but you can tell a lot of the details are changed. So either this is a very highly modified version of that resin kit, or this is just totally scratch built. And I'm kind of leaning towards that. I think this is scratch built, maybe using some parts of that resin kit, because like there's a couple parts that look exactly the same, but there's other parts that you can tell are definitely different. So I'm not really too sure. Either way, the point is that it's a really, really cool build. I've featured a Zamel on here before, a long time ago, modeled by Acoustics, if I remember correctly. That was really cool. This is a design that I would love us to get a kit of this, either an HG or an RE100 would be really awesome. It's really big and bulky, but it's not like huge, like Nightingale huge. It's big, but I don't think it would be quite that big as the Nightingale per se. But still, would be a really, really cool design for us to get in some sort of kit form. This is just a really, really cool build, whether it's 100% scratch build or partly resin or however he went about doing it, customizing it. It looks very nice, so that's really cool. Next one is another Master Grade, is the Master Grade Jesta Cannon. This is a very recently released P-Bandai kit, and so it's pretty amazing that what he's been able to do. This is modeled by Identity, also a pretty well-known modeler in Japan, I think. And I think he probably gets a lot of kits maybe early, possibly. I don't know, but he might be like one of those modelers that gets kits a little bit earlier. Anyway, just really, really cool work here. Just basically, for the most part, it's just very slightly modified. It's just adding some details around on the kit for the most part. Otherwise, it's just a really, really nicely painted and very cleanly modeled Master Grade Jesta Cannon. So not a whole lot of like heavy customization here or anything. It's just the fact it's just a really nicely, cleanly, well-made kit. He's added some metal parts in terms of details, but that looks like it's the only thing he's really added, other than just, like I said, more details on the kit. So it looks super, super nice. This as well is like a exemplary model kit here of like how you want to do like a super clean, super nicely detailed kit. So it's really, really nice. I think I featured a kit of him before. I think it was the HGUC V2 Assault Buster Gundam, I believe. I featured his kit on here before. Anyway, a lot of he often sticks to a lot of the same modifications on his kits, adding panel lines, adding the little red like armor latches kind of on his kits. So he's doing a lot of the same thing on a lot of these kits, but he does it so well, and his kits are so nice and clean, really beautiful colors on there and everything. So really nice. And then there is two different 1/100 scale kits here, both of them modeled by Gundam-Love. These are modified versions of resin kits, I believe, as far as I know. I know these both to be resin kits, the Full Armor Gundam and the Light Armor Gundam. He has them both labeled as Full Armor Gundam, but I know the one dashing with the sword is the resin kit's called the Light Armor Gundam. But anyway, I can tell both of them are slightly modified. The Full Armor Gundam is definitely modified more so, just because it's holding the bazooka. It doesn't have the shoulder cannon like the resin kit has. Anyway, it's definitely different from the resin kit. The Light Armor Gundam looks pretty much the same, but I think there are a couple things slightly modified on that as well. Anyway, the reason why I wanted to show these mostly is just because the beautiful painting on them and the changes to the color scheme. Really awesome color schemes here, and just to show you like just some of the things that you can get a lot more creative than I think a lot of us tend to get with the color schemes. A lot of us, and myself included, tend to stick to color schemes that we know that work, or like color schemes that are like color schemes from like official color schemes of like the kit, whether from the anime or from the manga or like MSV colors or whatever. But these are some really great examples of getting much more creative, I think, with the colors on there, especially like the Full Armor Gundam, how it has like all, and I think both of them actually. The inner frames are like in this like purplish gray color. Really cool color for the inner frame. It's definitely like much more purple than I've really seen very often. So really nice colors on these. Just of course really beautifully painted kits, both of them. Really nice kits there. And for the last one, we've got a perfect grade Gundam Mk-II entitled The Watchtower. This is a diorama build by Shen. Really awesome diorama here, super duper creative, using the Gundam and like modeling it into basically how these soldiers have turned the Gundam into a watchtower. Doesn't really seem like a good use of the parts, because a Gundam, obviously it's going to be pretty valuable, all these parts here, and the Gundam looks in like not that bad shape. Sure, it's missing part of a leg, it's missing the head, but I think a lot of that could have been salvaged and used in a much better way than turning into a watchtower. Anyway, the point is that it's just a really, really nicely built and really creative concept here with the design of it. So I think this is just really exemplary of how you can be creative, thinking of the robot as not just as like a fighting robot, but what else can it do? What else can it be? And this is a really great example and really nicely done with the tree in there as well. It's really cool. I would have almost liked to have seen this as like a slightly larger diorama, maybe just a little bit bigger with more trees around it. Would be really cool to see, because you can see that the Gundam is like actually towering over most of the other trees. The tree that it's next to here is like the same height, but you want the watchtower to be a little bit higher, right? So maybe a couple other trees just in like near it would have been cool. One small criticism that I could make about this is just that the weathering, I think it could be weathered more. If you've got this Gundam that's been turned into this watchtower, so it's been sitting here in the forest and not moving for a while, at least a little while, I think it's going to be a little bit more weathered than it is here in this case. Just the whole thing in general doesn't look quite as weathered as maybe as it should be, unless this is like something that's just very recently been built. The other thing as well is the just kind of struck me, and I could be wrong about this, the heart decal on the lower leg almost looks like it's there like it's supposed to have been like after now this Gundam here has been here stationary. It's just got like some graffiti on it, like someone just graffitied this heart on the leg just because it's no longer a fighting robot. It's just there as a tower now basically, so like people graffiti on stuff. That's kind of what this looks like it's supposed to be there, but just because it's like a really clean decal and it's there centered, I'm guessing maybe it's not supposed to be graffiti. But I think one thing that would have been cool to add to this is to do stuff like that, like some graffiti on the leg, or having some parts of the Gundam look like they've been like repainted or just like painted over from the process. Like it looks like it's just the Gundam and then these parts just like built onto it, which is, I mean, essentially what's going on. But like I think it could have been taken a little bit farther in terms of like the melding of this to make it look more natural, like more actually like built into the scene. I think this is a really awesome like first build. Maybe if this is this model his first time attempting this concept, but I think if he ever revisits this concept and tries to do something like this again, I think there's ways to make it look maybe a little bit more natural in the scene, or make it look like it's been in use or something. I don't really know how to say what I'm trying to say here, but I think there's just a few ways here and there that could have made it look like it's a little bit more weathered, a little bit more melding between the two, the Gundam and the platform, and some more weathering, more vegetation around the Gundam as well. So, I don't know. Of course, it's a beautiful build. That's just my small critique about that. So, Anyway, that's it. Those are the kits that I wanted to share with you guys. So hopefully that was enjoyable and gave you guys some inspiration. That's it for this month's episode of Gunpla News. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. That's it for 2015 of Gunpla News. The next Gunpla News will be for January 2016. So thank you guys for an awesome year. This year has been amazing. This channel has grown so exponentially thanks to you, the support from you guys. So I'm very, very thankful for that. And yeah, just looking forward to 2016. There's going to be a whole lot of new stuff coming out, as always, of course. It's always new stuff coming out and new stuff to talk about. So we'll be coming back at that time. Thank you guys. And just a reminder, watch Gunpla Talk this Saturday to December 12th. And other than that, just stay tuned for more stuff all the time. If you guys have any other questions, comments, suggestions, as always, let me know those in the comment section down below. Starting to lose my voice now. I think it's very dry here. So that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.